Hey, what's up, guys? Um, all right, so we got this. A friend of ours, Bigfoot Tony, just did a short breakdown of six Bigfoot filmed Christmas Day, Yellowstone Park. As it says, it's a short story. Um, Person watching a live feed from Yellowstone National Park webcam. They spot something, and he records the monitors with his cell phone. Very intriguing footage. I wanted to share this and I wanted to point some things out. Uh, so let's get to it.
The six Bigfoot caught on live cam at Yellowstone on Christmas 2016. I guess you could almost call this one a sequel to Thinker Thunker's Bigfoot versus Buffalo. And here we see he's going down, kind of sitting down with the other individual. Just scrolling back and forth. Back.
So I paused that for a second. What's intriguing to me is the way there's not just one, there's two, and the way they're sitting down. Um, they're obviously big subjects, but these two seem smaller to me than the ones that come out later. So let's get back to this.
The walk. I'm not gonna show the whole video. If you want to do that, you can. I'll leave the link, and then you can watch it yourself.
As you can see, that last step it takes, it either has an injured foot or it stepped down into like a gully or some deep snow, because it looked like that right leg dropped down about a foot or something like that along those lines.
I'll take a closer look here. So what it appears to be another Bigfoot or something.
And if you look right there, the snow is to that subject's knees. Now, relative to height, if we start guessing, let's say it's 8 foot, that's going to tell you, how deep the snow is. Or if you go out there and, we have a researcher go to this spot and is able to take a snow measurement like ASAP, you would get a better height approximation on this subject.
Figure. So it's not clear whether these are Bigfoots. Let's be clear about that. But I have a feeling that they are. So we have this figure here. Let's say that this, for example, that this could be.
See that knee drop way down right there? That's just a funny walk as it is. And the gait was extraordinary. It was very large. I don't believe these are people. They're not just going to be sitting down out there in the wilds, freezing. If it were people, the way this video plays out to me, there's two sitting, one comes out, and then the rest come out. That doesn't work that way usually. Us people, if we're together, we usually stick together. We're not going to hang out in the pine trees while two other people sit out here and then gradually disperse to come out.
An injured Sasquatch or something like that. And then this one is coming along to give some support. So here's a bit of a closer shot here.
See, now he thinks that one over here may be injured, and that's why this one's coming to check. What I think is maybe a few of them got injured. Maybe they were taking down some buffalo, or that's pure speculation. But this one seemed to have an injured right leg when he stepped, unless it was a big hole. And this one may be injured possibly too. So who knows? I mean, Did these two get in a fight, or did they try to take down a buffalo? We don't know.
The legs moving. Nice profile shot. Of course, yes, it's very blurry. So the person was actually filming the screen of the live feed.
But what I want you to notice is right there. You see that 90-degree bend on that leg? Humans don't walk like that. We do not pick our leg up and bend our leg that high for many reasons, but one, because humans are lazy. We're lazy people. That's how it is. I think ours is like maybe I forget what it is offhand. 30% on the gate where we raise our leg, or so many degrees. It's been found that humans raise their leg to a certain percentage. Where this is, try doing that. Try walking like that and see how tired you get. Keep walking. It's almost like you got to kick your knee back far, to bring your leg way up like that. That we just don't walk like that.
Trail cam, I guess. So I guess that's the right leg.
My next point would be that you don't see any clothes. You don't see any color. I get it's a distance, but you were able to see that the pine trees are green. So you're not seeing any color. To me, that shows that there's not clothing on, unless there's 6 special ops agents that are really big out here in the wilderness, just hanging out, dressed in black.
Leg possibly stepping in, and then watch the back leg. As he steps down, the back leg already follows straight away down, and it's following already. So that's quite interesting. Head quite far forward, as you can see. Okay, let's move on. Gathering. So I'll play this section now.
Now, you see how you can get the colors, like that's green, you can kind of see it, and these are grayish, probably like sapling types or something like that. These are clearly black. That's not clothing.
So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individuals, 6 figures, 4 standing and 2 sitting.
To me, that's intriguing right there. I'm actually going to go ahead and replay that section.
See? Okay, let's move on. Gathering. So I'll play this section now.
Look how wide and massive this one is. The shoulders. It's got that conical head. It's got the sloping shoulder. And watch some of the movement and how it turns. Look how big those arms are. Nobody's really pointing that out. See how wide that forearm is down at the bottom? I mean, that's a really huge arm, or they're wearing huge bubble down coats.
So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6 individuals.
See how they're all different
figures.
heights too?
4 standing and 2.
And that one steps up.
2 sitting. It's not the best stabilization attempt, but
this to me, it, it doesn't seem like a hoax. The subjects are too big. This is a very intriguing piece for the masses and the skeptics.
I really wanted to get this one out as quickly as possible. So I'll just scroll back and forth on a few things here. So here we have...
What I kind of want to point out is, besides the depth of the snow, if we could get somebody there to figure that out, somebody close, might be someone like Anthony Moffat or anybody like that, to get out here and maybe get some references if they let people even get into the park in this certain area. But you could reference the tree height here, where you're seeing 1, 2, 3. Obviously the depth of the snow, and take some, photographs of a person standing here. I'm gonna guess that this subject here is at least 8 feet tall. Just the size of the tree and the size of these subjects, they're big.
The individual on the left, nearest to the trees. And what can we see? Kind of looks like he's raising it, or it's raising his arms. Left arm or right arm, we don't know. And it turns from left to right, I think. And it almost looks like he's carrying something. Now we'll take a closer look at that in a minute. Look at the width on these creatures. Look at the width. Proportions of the body. Now look at this walk here. From this one. Left to right, steps up onto something.
If you look close to one in front of it, it like grabs its arm or puts its hand on its shoulder or something. Right there.
Look how far forward he's leaning. Looks like about maybe...
You can even see a little bit of a reddish color in some of them, which is interesting.
A foot to 2 foot of snow there. Of course, I'm just estimating, guessing. So again, we have the 2 individuals that we saw in the beginning. The colors changed because the monitors changed.
I think we need to pay attention to what they're actually doing instead of being in awe and analyzing what they are. We know what they are. We all see it. We need to figure out what they're doing. Is one of these ones that are sitting down, dying? Are they mourning it? Something is happening here that we should be more... let's think out of the box here. That's what will help us ultimately understand this species, or subject, or whatever you want to call them. We'll be able to understand the Bigfoot better if we start paying attention to other things, like what they were doing, instead of trying to break down everything.
These monitors, filming different monitors now. Somehow there's a different color. I don't know why. But there does appear to be a red color on some of these individuals, and we'll look closely at that in a minute. Here it looks like this one is handing something to these people here, these individuals here, or receiving something. Hand goes out and comes back, scrolling back and forth. They make contact, and then the red one goes back. There, that's it.
So I'm just going to go back a little bit real quick.
A gathering. So I'll play this section now. So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individuals, 6 figures, 4 standing and 2.
It was weird that this one here waved his arm and the rest came out of the trees. Humans tend to skirt the sides of the trees. Let's say I'm not going to go walk through this dense pine thicket right here. I get for warmth, humans may do that if they're stranded or something like that. But in Yellowstone National Park, I don't think anybody's missing right now, or a group this large missing to the point where they're, lost and have to huddle in these pine trees. And so that's intriguing that they're coming out like that also.
To sitting.
But that's a great photo there to end on, guys, and this one's reaching out. So you have 6 possible Bigfoots here. There's a lot we need to do. We need to take this seriously, start thinking outside the box of why they showed themselves, what was going on with these 2 here. Were they, mourning them? Was this one going to die? There's a lot of questions that we have, even though it's a distance and it's blurry. And I mean, this is Yellowstone National Park, though. This is their footage, their cameras. So I highly doubt that this is a hoax. I'm almost going to say that it isn't. This is the second time a family has been caught at Yellowstone on camera. So what I think is we need to get some people out there as soon as possible. I mean, I get that it's within a month, almost 3 weeks, 2 weeks. But the conditions are going to be relatively close. There's still going to be a lot of snow. That tree's not going to change the height. But I think if we get out there and get some measurements, we're going to see that the majority of these subjects are at a human proportions. So with that, guys, like, sub, share. We appreciate all your input. You can follow us on Tumblr, WordPress, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're all over, guys. We appreciate it. We'll link the Patreon account down below. If you like what we do, show your support. We appreciate it. We wanted to get this one out quick too because this is relatively new. A lot of people haven't been sharing this. There's just been a few that have gotten this out. And I wanted to use Bigfoot Tony's because he's a friend of ours. He does pretty good breakdowns and good work. So we appreciate everything that he does. Thanks, guys.